Ever wondered what it would feel like to wake up and discover your most intimate moments being broadcast to tens of thousands of strangers? What if the person orchestrating it all was someone you loved and trusted? These aren't rhetorical questions for me. They set the stage for a chapter of my life I could never have imagined. For nearly 2 years, I shared my days and nights with a partner, whom I'll call Lavra. We met through friends, connected quickly, and decided to build a life together. 6 months after moving in, we were in that comfortable phase where routines feel settled and trust feels unshakable. Or so I thought. One evening changed everything. Lara waltzed into our living room with a laptop and a grin. "You're not going to believe the surprise I have for us," she said. My mind raced with possibilities. A vacation? A pet? I could not have been more wrong. She opened a streaming platform I'd never seen, revealing a profile with tens of thousands of paying subscribers. The thumbnails stopped me cold. Images of me, in our most private moments. Angles and scenes I never knew had been captured. She cheerfully announced, "I've been sharing our connection with the world. We're making thousands every month." If that revelation wasn't shocking enough, what followed left me numb. In response to my stunned silence, she admitted she'd been doing this for nearly a year. She proudly pointed out where she'd hidden cameras in the bedroom, bathroom, and living room. High definition, multiple angles, careful lighting. She'd thought of everything except my consent. I felt the safe haven of our home transform instantly into a stage I had never agreed to perform on. My mind reeled, grappling with the magnitude of the violation. That night, without a dramatic scene or raised voices, I quietly walked out. A friend of mine, a legal assistant, was my first call. After hearing the story, his expression turned serious. "This isn't just unethical," he told me. "It's a crime. You need to gather evidence and contact the police." Realizing that our most private moments had been commodified and broadcast without my knowledge hit me harder as I drove away. I remember gripping the steering wheel, replaying conversations with Lavra, and wondering how I could have missed this dot at the police station. I recounted the story to Officer Coleman. Saying those words out loud made it more real. He immediately took it seriously. We returned to the apartment together so I could collect my things. As soon as Lavra saw us, she went live on her channel, framing the situation for her audience. "Hey, lovers. My boyfriend's here with a cop because he's jealous of our success," she said, painting me as the villain. The officer calmly asked her to end the stream. She complied with dramatic sighs and eye rolls, insisting she was being harassed. Her performative outrage signaled a complete disconnect from the gravity of her actions. The deeper I looked, the worse it got. Investigators executed warrants on her devices and the streaming platform, uncovering 892 videos she'd filmed without my knowledge. The recordings ranged from mundane activities to therapy sessions and deeply intimate moments. The earnings? Nearly $250,000. On top of that, messages revealed she had been soliciting custom content from subscribers. People she'd never met were paying her to stage specific scenarios or record me sleeping. That revelation alone kept me up at night. The idea that strangers had watched me, followed me, and maybe recognized me made my skin crawl. Meanwhile, Lavra tried to rewrite the narrative. She posted videos portraying herself as a modern, liberated creator, targeted by a controlling partner. She insisted consent is complicated in relationships, that we shared everything, so she assumed she could share this too. She even went on a podcast to argue that couples don't ask permission before posting selfies, as if that were equivalent to secretly filming someone in the shower. Her family echoed her talking points. Her mother called me to accuse me of destroying her daughter's career. Her siblings showed up at my work and said I needed to man up and drop the charges. Online harassment from her fans included messages like, "You should be grateful the internet finds you attractive." It was surreal and dehumanizing. While this public circus unfolded, the legal process advanced. A former subscriber, who was also a lawyer, contacted me with proof that Lavra had promised to live stream me according to specific requests. His message said, "Use this as evidence." What she's doing goes beyond privacy violation. As I forwarded this to detectives, Lavra called me and offered to delete everything if I dropped the charges and split the money. By then, it was out of our hands. This was no longer a private dispute. It was a criminal case. When the trial began, the courtroom grew tense as the prosecutors presented evidence: video clips, financial records, transcripts of her requests, and the damning podcast. They played a clip where she whispered to her audience, "He has no idea I'm recording this." That's what makes it so hot, right? Her defense argued that because we were in a relationship, she had implied consent. They tried to frame it as art, as if creating content absolved her of legal responsibility. But consent isn't automatic. It's explicit and ongoing. The jury didn't take long. They found her guilty of unlawful recording, invasion of privacy, and distribution of intimate images without consent. The judge, noting her complete lack of remorse, sentenced her to prison and probation and required her to register as a sex offender. In civil court, I was awarded all of the money she earned plus damages. The streaming platform shut down her account and implemented stricter verification, policies to prevent a repeat. Even after sentencing, Lavra seemed to misread the situation. From prison, she proposed we co-author a book about our journey. She wanted to split profits and turn our story into yet another commodity. My attorney declined, reminding her lawyer that she couldn't profit from her crimes under the Son of Sam law. She responded by saying it wasn't a crime, but a misunderstanding between lovers. Her inability to accept responsibility made it clear that, despite everything, she hadn't learned the most basic lesson. Consent matters. This experience fundamentally changed me. I relocated, installed my own security system, and started therapy to address the anxiety and betrayal I still felt. I still check hotel rooms and new apartments for hidden devices. I still flinch when I see a blinking light in a corner. I eventually started dating again, choosing someone who values privacy and sees social media as optional. We talk openly about boundaries and consent, conversations I now believe should be standard. So what can be learned from this ordeal? First, consent is not a blurred line. It doesn't become implied in a relationship. Recording and sharing someone's private moments without clear, enthusiastic permission is exploitation, not art or entrepreneurship. Second, the law is catching up with technology. Platforms and authorities take these violations seriously. Third, healing is possible with support and time, but it requires acknowledging that the violation was real and severe. If you're contemplating secretly recording a partner or sharing content without their knowledge, stop. There's no amount of money, clicks, or comments that justifies turning someone's trust into a product. And if you're a consumer of such content, consider the person on the other side of the screen. They might not know you're watching. Your engagement could be fueling a crime. Respecting privacy isn't just a personal choice. It's a moral and legal necessity. This isn't merely a story of betrayal. It's a cautionary tale about boundaries in the digital age. As technology continues to blur public and private spaces, our commitment to consent and respect must become stronger, not weaker.